This Christmas season, we've looked at Christmas from multiple perspectives, from Mary, from the three kings, from who else? Maybe what it would feel like to be Joseph there for a minute. There's somebody that it occurred to me that we hadn't explored what it would be like to see the birth of Christ through. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Me and my drum. If we recall, the Magi traveled for 2 years. They were from what is now the modern Iran, and they followed the star and followed it all throughout this. And like we said, we have the story of them being 3 wise men or 3 kings, but we only hear it recorded of them being 3. But remember, if they're gone for 2 years and they are wise people from their land, there is probably a caravan of people behind them following, because we all know the 3 wise men weren't cooking any food on that 2-year journey. Amen? Yeah, see? Y'all know. In that 2 years, there were wives and women and handmaids and children and just a band of people coming. There's the little drummer boy. I imagine, he says, I'm a poor boy too in the song, and you know that he came with nothing. I imagine him in the cold night, trying to hold on to the sticks to play the drums. How long have you played? What's the longest duration of time you've played the drums for? An hour. Every day for 2 years. You imagine he was there trying to keep the band together so people didn't get lost. And if you wandered off, you could kind of follow the sound back of the bum-bum-bum. You knew where to go, and you kind of fell into step of where you should be. And I imagine this little boy being in charge of keeping all the people together, but yet still having nothing you feel material to offer to this group of people, these wise people, these people who have traveled for 2 years to be at this event. And all he can do is brum bum bum bum, brum bum bum bum. I imagine when the Christ child is born and the Magi come and they kneel down, everybody is peering over them, right? How far on your tiptoes would you go to see the baby Jesus? Right? And I imagine he had to kind of push, but yet gently, because he's a little kid, had to gently wiggle his way to the front, as children so often know how to do, to squirm around aunties and squish around uncles and hold someone's hand just long enough to get close enough to get a peek of the baby Jesus. You see, the gift that God gave in Jesus to each of us was spellbinding and awe-inspiring. He gave us a love that we could never compare anything to, a depth that we could never experience in anything else. But also, God gave us an awareness that no matter who you are, I love you too. It doesn't matter that I made the mountains and the moon. It doesn't matter that I made all the creatures in the deep. I love you most. God could have chosen God's child to be born anywhere by anyone, and he chose for someone who nobody cared about in a backwater part of a country that nobody even noticed. And he said, that's the one that will carry my son. And I imagine for the little drummer boy, that gave him a sense of, I'm important too. That could be me. I could be valued and loved that much. I'm a poor boy too. You see, in order to be something, you have to see something. They often talk about this in mentoring relationships for getting people into new industries that are underrepresented. You have to see that in order to believe that you can be that. Right now in January, there'll be a new movie coming out called Hidden Figures about the first women of color working at NASA. How can you dream that that could be you if you've never seen that before, right? And I imagine that it was somewhat this way for this drummer boy. If all of these important people could care about this little baby that no one knew about before, by God, does God care about me that much? Could these people love me that much too? That moment that we can experience a few times in our life, a feeling so small and at the same time so incredibly big and connected to everything that's pulsating with life. I imagine as he's drumming, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, all of that, he hears and he feels, and his little hands just keep going. And then in those moments of feeling so small, often you go, well, I have nothing to offer to this moment. Jesus is born. I don't got a present, right? Except me and my drum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. You see, God has given us each a drum. Not a physical drum. I don't have one, and nor do I want them at my house. Please don't send them home with children. No one should ever gift any child a drum ever unless you are the parents. Parents, right? So, don't give anybody a drum. But God has given each of us a gift that lies inside of us. And it's not something that we're able to buy or purchase or borrow. It is our unique gift that God has created us for, to share with the world. But it's more than just to share it with the world and to offer it. It is to give it as a gift to Jesus. Meaning, anything you do that's filled with peace, hope, love, joy is for Jesus. So all of the things that you do that focus with intention, peace, hope, love, joy, manifests Jesus. We've all been given that gift. And some of us access it regularly, and it's our spiritual gift that we give away freely, and others of us struggle with it. What is it? Is it this? Is it that? Do I know how to give it? Do I know how to keep that beat, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, for 2 years? I don't know. But whatever you do, remember to get on the tip of the tippy-tip toes of yourself. Lean in with anticipation, hope, love, peace, and joy, and let your heart beat to that of a little drummer boy this Christmas and throughout the year. Amen.